It's the Jim and Terry Show. I'm one of your hosts, Terry.
And I'm the other guy, Jim.
And together we get up to mischief and no good, and we
Mayhem.
have political views that collide
But mayhem.
mayhem. But one of the biggest things that we are experts in is growing old.
Yeah.
We got that over all the young people. We've got the T-shirts too.
If I was rich, maybe the one thing I would get done was maybe I'd get a hair transplant if I was rich, but maybe not. I mean, look at this gorgeous head like this. It's just sitting there like a melon.
It
Wonderful.
sure makes for easy headphone fitting.
Doesn't it? I am writing a song called Phantom Hair, right?
Oh, phantom hair. Phantom of the hair. Oh, boy. We were getting onto this because I got an article that I sent you, and it was sort of, I hinted at maybe that should be a theme for our show. As we get older, what are the things that we do or did that we regret now? So age and stage gives us a view, looking in the rearview mirror an awful lot, not so much ahead of us. So what's in the rearview mirror that gives us some either pause, concern, or just an acknowledgement? If I was a younger Jim now, with the wisdom my older Jim has, what would I do differently?
Shares in BlackBerry.
You would either get them before they went defunct, or you'd sell them quicker.
Well, you know when to sell too, don't you?
Yeah. The wisdom of the present being thrown back. This is Back to the Future kind of wisdom.
Yeah. I was going to say I don't remember.
That's a safe position to take.
Well, being old, right?
Yeah, okay. I'm going to take the position that maybe we are too hard on ourselves, our younger selves, because the older self has the wisdom of years and experience. And we go back and say, gee, if I knew then what I know now, of course I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't have hung out with that person. I wouldn't have gone there. I wouldn't have... It goes on, the list of things that you would change if you had the benefit of wisdom of now, going back.
Yeah, it was funny. My dad said, I've often picked it up, wisdom's wasted on the elders.
Yes.
You know, like...
By the time you get it all figured out.
Well, he says we keep doing the same things over and over again. Each generation, same things over and over again. We don't seem to learn. We don't seem to be able to pass it on to our kids. And I don't know how true that is, but sometimes it feels that way. Same mistakes.
What if wisdom was encoded into your genes? Not your blue jeans.
And what does that look like?
I don't know. I'm curious as to what it might feel like. So wisdom, can it be passed on genetically? Do you know that they were, just a random thought here, did you know that sperm has a limited shelf life, and that you should have the more recent lively version of yourself in that genetic code in order to make the best possible version of your kids that you could possibly give them in terms of a heads up and a head start?
Oh, my goodness.
So that begs a whole bunch of other divergent questions, but I'm not going to go there. I'm just going to say, could we encode wisdom? Could we say, you know, that bit of lesson, that was a really hard lesson. I'd love to prevent that lesson having to be learned by my kids. Can I put it in my DNA and send it back into my 4 boys?
I don't know. You might be able to insert smarts, but wisdom, I'm not so sure. Because again, we make all kinds of mistakes. We've got this in vitro fertilization situation. Yeah. And I feel like saying, well, too bad you didn't think about it back then, that this is like a timeshare for you, that you're going to have to be paying for this your whole friggin' life, right?
It costs money to freeze embryos.
And keep them. And now they're saying, well, keep them even when you die, someone's got to be responsible for this because we can't kill them. So your kids have to take them.
That's the thing. Wow.
And then your kids' kids.
Well, that's like having an American gray, or not an American gray, a gray parrot or one of those other species of birds that lives to be over 100 and maximum human lifespan, you know. Yeah. They're going to outlive us.
And all it says is, you're a jerk.
And a bunch of other stuff. But they become a legacy for your kids.
Another woman. Not another one. Not another one.
Legacy for your kids then becomes the burden of how much does it cost? I have not looked into any of this stuff. I just know it's controversial because you cannot kill the embryo.
But how exciting it was at the time to do all of this, but nobody thought, oh, crap, what does this mean
Well, no, it's-
if I decide I don't want any more kids?
Well, the
I
thing
got
is,
4,863 children pending there.
but the law in Alabama changed. That
Yeah.
changed. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a problem. It's
just-
only a problem when you change the law and says, thou shalt not kill the
Yeah.
fertilized frozen embryo. What? Who changed that? So it did change.
Yeah, I know.
Otherwise, it wouldn't have been a problem.
I know.
So changing
But those who
things.
change it honestly believe what they believe.
Yeah,
You see,
I
and then
got,
you
I have
got
a
the-
whole bunch of
I
questions
know,
about
but
the
you got
people
the
who
two.
believe
You
that.
got the two sides. Same as like I cut liberal slack and I cut
Mm.
conservative slack. You know, other than our American brothers, most people think they're doing right when they're doing what they're doing. They're not going, how can I screw this up for the world, you know, or for my people? They make plans and try to think what's best. What they're doing.
I would like to believe you,
Well, that's what I think.
but I'm having trouble finding the evidence that would support your opinion.
But that's what I would think. You know what I mean? So sometimes I cut a little bit of slack saying, I may think you're completely wrong.
That's exactly the way we should treat each other.
Yeah.
Cut ourselves a little bit of slack.
Yeah.
But then when the evidence starts to pile up outside your door like a garbage day, that's starting to look like insurmountable evidence to the contrary. And then you got to face reality. Oh, what's this pile of garbage sitting here?
I just got a solution
Okay.
for the embryos. Have people adopt them.
As if we're having trouble with adoption now. Okay, we're going to drop another 10 million people.
Invest in your future.
Oh,
Your
you got the
future's
jingle already.
good.
I think there's a parody on Saturday Night Live that the Jim and Terry Show could be doing if they would only recognize our comedic talent.
Tell them what they've won, Sid. Well, they've won 1,400 children. Yes.
You too can be the children of Israel wandering in the desert. Have your own tribe.
Have your own nation.
Oh boy, I can see that this could go somewhere.
Yeah,
But-
and I don't I haven't got a knee-jerk reaction. My
Hmm.
first reaction, obviously, is, okay, nobody knew this when they were going into it. It's unfair to have this continue on. The other thing is you have to look at it. Okay, are these embryos as humans destined to be embryos for eternity? Like, what kind of life is that?
Is
Maybe we
there-
should send them off to glory.
Is there a soul infused already?
Maybe there is. I don't
Did
know.
the soul come with the sperm or with the ovum?
I don't know.
Or maybe it was half a soul each?
I don't
Is it
know.
a 50-50 proposition?
I don't even know if it comes in the beginning. I don't know.
Well, that would...
But I now the scripture says, God not knows them in the womb.
going to come
So-
in the beginning.
What? What are you laughing
Oh
about?
my goodness. Okay, going off on tangents here, but yes, it gets complicated.
It gets really complicated.
Depends on your views, and science is not in this view. It's the confusion comes with the insertion of someone's moral opinion that is not necessarily provable, but it is a belief. And
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
where we run into conflict, where you start to infuse moral beliefs on a situation that doesn't necessarily warrant that kind of discussion. So that's where I'm wondering
I
where
don't know
that
if
goes.
it warrants it or not.
Okay,
but
well, Alabama's done it, and I think there are Missouri, and some other
why did this
Bible
show
Belt.
up now?
What are we
Like
talking
where?
about?
Like who brought this? What troll said, "Oh, let's get
Because
this."
we have regrets,
Let's
and
get
part of
him-
the
let's
regrets
get-
is that we did things or didn't do things that we thought we should
or
or
we
shouldn't
didn't
do.
think through, like
And-
buying a timeshare.
Well, yeah, I think that's one you're going to take as a legacy to your kids. Thanks, Dad. They'll remember
Oh
you for
no,
that.
no, you just
You're going to ditch it before then?
Well, eventually it's going to have to go that way. Well, maybe not. My one son.
Timeshare, in vitro fertilization and refrigeration as a timeshare investment.
Yeah. Well, that's sort of what it is. But now all of a sudden you can't get out of it. Maybe
No.
there should be a company.
And you'll get
like-
charged with murder if you do.
Is there some company that can take it over? Say, we'll do it for $1,500. We'll take your shares and this.
Oh my God, you're going to have in vitro fertilization refrigeration units that come with pay it forward
Oh,
and
be
pay
a
it on
money
time.
scam
and-
type thing. Yeah,
oh
you
my
know.
goodness gracious,
You know.
how we have
We'll
complicated.
take it off your hands for this amount of money, and then we'll go bankrupt.
We have to pull the plug on your refrigeration unit. What?
Yeah.
Okay, this gets complicated. Doesn't have to be this way. And again, I'm going to talk about the relative value. I know you got an embryo, and some people are saying, well, that's human life. And I'm going to say, well, okay, you got the actual person or your eggs. And I'm going to turn off the refrigeration unit. I'm going to get charged with murder. Or I'm going to take a gun and shoot you, and I'm going to get charged with murder. Is there not a difference that's readily apparent? Apparently not.
Well, again, it's the person of what they're thinking and what their beliefs are. I mean, all of this
There
should
you
have
go.
been thought about in the beginning.
Beliefs.
Like back when they started all this, you understand you can never, ever not do this.
These are
Well,
things.
what? Yeah, you're going to have it forever because we deem it a life. I mean, these things, we do this kind of stuff as humans all the time, and then we go, uh-oh, like a timeshare.
Well, you
Uh-oh.
better not scratch your skin because that's living cells, and that's not just the dead white stuff that's fluffing up in your dander. You might be having a few live cells, and that live cell could be a potential you. Where do you draw the line?
I don't know, Terry. I'm glad I don't have the problem. But I don't know where you draw the line.
I
can
know
understand too, but my knee-jerk reaction is, okay, start over, eliminate them. That's my knee-jerk
You're
reaction.
eliminating in vitro fertilization, knowing that could be the only way that some women are going to conceive.
No, I meant the ones who don't want it, and then start over with a new contract.
Tear up the old contract.
Yeah, like this from here on, the law is you have these forever. So think twice and think how much you want stored.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Well, right into the Jim and Terry show. Let us know what your thoughts are.
Isn't there a lot of women who want babies and stuff that don't
And
want to
this
get
is two,
married?
two old white guys talking about women's reproductive rights. There's something wrong about that, isn't there?
Well, took two to make that embryo.
Yes, it takes two to make the fertilized
Yeah.
embryo.
But what
You're
I'm
right.
saying, isn't there women who would want a donor? I mean, there's a lot that's there with people who are obviously loving and thinking about the future that lovingly created these embryos. Could they not go to somebody and say, at least they know they weren't a mistake?
Are you talking about embryonic matchings? This is like you go to 23andMe to
All right.
find your perfect mate?
Number one, this is not my specialty, okay? So, I don't know what to do.
Oh, my
I
goodness.
don't know what to do. I don't
You're
want
an
to.
agnostic. I don't know. I love that phrase. The certainty is suddenly gone when we...
Certain things definitely gone.
Certain things.
Well, I don't know how,
That's my uncertain things. that
48
I'm-
gazillion trillion years
There you go.
out there, I don't know if there's anything
Two
out
old
there.
white
I don't
guys
know.
with regret talking about women's reproductive rights. Bye-bye for now.
That's what makes the world go round.